Good morning students. Myself Rachna Shukla welcomes you all to our YouTube channel of Nyanmanjri Modern School. Today we are going to start with a new subject, that is Social Science for Standard 8, and our lesson number 1 is Arrival of Europeans to India. Now first of all, from standard 1 to standard 7 you have studied about environment. Then as the standard came up, you studied about the kings, the Rajwadas and the geography in your upper standard. But in 8th standard, totally new syllabus you will study, and there are 3 parts in SS. That is, the first one is history, second one is civics, and the third one is geography. So in your history part, we will start today with lesson number 1, that is history part. And in your history part, you will study the whole theory of how the Europeans came to India. It's the story of how the Europeans came to India, how they started trading in India, and slowly and gradually they settled here. They ruled here over India for more than 300 years, and they totally ruined India economically and politically. So starting with our chapter, that is Arrival of Europeans in India. See, before hundreds of years ago, India was one of the leading countries in the world. India was one of the leading countries in the world. It was one of the distinct countries in the world. So many countries, many other countries, many traders from other countries were very eager to deal with India, to trade with India, and all the other peoples from whole around the world were very influenced with our culture, with the culture of India, because at that time India had a very rich culture. Its culture was very progressed. So many other traders, many scholars were interested to come to India, to trade with India, to study the culture of India. They were influenced by the culture of India. Then the merchants from the northwest part of the world, that is from the Europe side, from the Russia side, they were eager to trade with India. Why? Because India at that time was very rich. There were many commodities produced in India. At that time India was known as Sone ki Chidiya. What was India known as? Sone ki Chidiya. So many traders in that time from the northwest part of the world were eager to trade with India. So from the European countries, now let's understand what is Europe, where Europe is located. See, in the whole world, all of you know that there are 7 continents in the world, which you have already studied in your 6th or 7th standard. How many continents are there? There are 7 continents. So one of is our Asia, in which India is located. This is Asia. In Asia, India is located. Then comes Africa, the second continent. Then the third one is Europe. Like that way, there is Europe. Then comes Antarctica. Then comes South America, North America, and Australia. These are the 7 continents in the world. Now, India is one of the country in the continent of Asia. Like the same way, Africa is also one of the continent, and Europe is the continent above Africa. So Europe is here. Here it is India, here it is ocean, here it comes Iran, Iraq, that is the Saudi Arabia part. Then comes the Africa, and then above Africa there is Europe. In Europe there are many countries. I repeat, Europe is a continent, and in Europe there are many small countries. So from that countries, from Europe, many traders were coming to India through land route for trading with India, for buying goods from India and going back to Europe. Now what happened? Let's see what happened. See, here it's Europe. There are many small countries in Europe, and one of the country is Portugal. Its capital is Lisbon. What is the name of the country? Portugal, and its capital is Lisbon. Here it's Portugal. Now, See, here it's Indian Ocean. Here Bay of Bengal. And here it's Arabian Sea. These are the three oceans covering India in the southernmost part, that is Indian Ocean in the south, Bay of Bengal in the east and Arabian Sea in the west. Now, the traders coming from Europe, they were coming from Europe, that is Portugal, many other countries, and they were coming through the land route, through Constantinople, like this way. They were coming to India. Through land route they were coming to India very first time, before hundreds of years ago. But one day what happened? In that land route, a place named Constantinople was coming, and that place is in Turkey. Where is this place? In Turkey. Turkey is also one of the country in Europe. It's now included in Europe. So Constantinople was the place located in Turkey, and these European people were coming to trade in India through the land route. What is the route known as? Land route, through Constantinople. But one day what happened? There was a war in Constantinople, and Constantinople was captured, was conquered by the Turkish Muslims. There were a group of people known as Turkish Muslims who captured or conquered Constantinople. So that land route was stopped for the Europeans. The land route through which they were coming to India was stopped by the Turkish Muslims. So now Europeans could not come through this land route to India. Understood? Once again I will tell you, the Europeans, the traders of the Europeans countries were coming to India through the land route, and that land route passed through the place known as Constantinople, and through that they were coming to India. But as time passed on, Constantinople was captured by Turkish Muslims. So these people cannot come through the land route. These land route was banned, was stopped by the Turkish Muslims for the Europeans. So what happened? So there was a dire need to find a new sea route to India. The Europeans had to find out a new sea route to come to India. Why? Because there was a great demand of commodities like silk, muslin, cotton, spices, black pepper and many more things that were in great demand in European countries, and these all things it were from India. The production of all these things was in India, huge production. The traders used to come to India and they used to take away these things to Europe. So the demand for silk cloth, then muslin cloth, then cotton cloth, black pepper, spices and many other things like tea, coffee, beverages, each and everything was taken away from India to European countries. The people of the Europes could not do without these things, without these commodities. So they had to buy these things from India. But how to buy? For buying those things, they need to find out a new sea route to India. Now this route was stopped. So they have to find out a new sea route to India, which we will study later on, that who founded the sea route to India. So for getting all these things from India, now there were many officers or many captains of the ship who tried to find it out, the new sea route to India. Let's see who came first or who started the journey of finding out the new sea route. First of all, we will talk about Christopher Columbus. Now first I am writing the main points. You can also note down the points in your rough book for your sake of learning. Now, the first voyager or the first explorer who started his journey finding out the new sea route to India. See, before 100 of years there were no internet, there were no maps, there were nothing how to go, where to reach, there were nothing to know what to do and where to go. There were no signs, symbols, nothing. So, there was a brave sailor and he was the explorer. He was from Italy. Who was he? He was Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was very brave. He was a smart explorer and he was an Italian sailor. Now what is Italy? Italy is one of the place almost here in Europe. Italy is here. One of the place here. Now he started from Italy. He was the first person started his journey finding a new sea route to India, and his thought was, he believed that moving towards west will reach to east, means he wanted to go to east side of Europe, that is India. People only knew that India is on the east side of Europe. They did not know the exact location, the exact marking, how India looks. They didn't know anything. So they only knew that India is on the east side of Europe. So he believed that to go to the east, we can also go through west. So he went towards west direction. See, now I am writing down the direction. This is north, this is south, this is east side, and here it's west side. I repeat once again, this is west side, here it's east side, upwards north and downwards south. So here it's Europe. Starting from Europe, he wanted to go this side, east side, but he went to the west side. He believed that moving west side will reach to the east side. How it's possible, we don't know. But so he did not reach India, he reached America. All of you know that if you move this side, here there are two continents, that is North America and South America. If you have atlas, please open your atlas. Atlas is the books in which you have map of each and every country of the world. So please open that and you can see very closely the map of the world, in which you can see here it's North America and South America. So he moved west side and fortunately he reached America. Now throughout his whole life he lived in the misconception that he has founded India. What he found India, but it was wrong. He did not find India, he founded America. What did he find? America. He reached to a very small island near America, and that was known as West Indies in future. The small island which we called West Indies is founded by the great explorer, the great sailor Christopher Columbus. He did not find India. He went to find India, but by mistake he reached America. He did not move this side. He went this side in the ocean through the ship. So he founded America. He named that island as West Indies, and throughout his life till his death he was in the misconception that he was the person who founded India, but that was wrong. He did not find India, and due to that today itself these people, that is the Americans, are known as Red Indian people. What are the people known of America? Americans are known as Red Indians people. Why? Because the conception was finding out India, but he by mistake founded out America, and that also it was named as West Indies, and the people are known as Red Indians. These people are founded by Christopher Columbus. So that was all about Christopher Columbus. He was the first explorer, but he failed to find out a new sea route to India. Now let's see next who was the person who started his journey finding out a new sea route to India. The next person we are talking about is Vasco da Gama. I am again writing the main points. You can note down the main points. Now we will talk about who was Vasco da Gama. First, note down the main points in your rough book. He was from Portugal. Via Cape of Good Hope. Now, talking about the second sailor who started his journey finding a new sea route to India, the name of the person is Vasco da Gama. Now, what he did? First of all, Vasco da Gama was from Portugal. He was a European person, and that also from the country Portugal. See, look here, here there is Portugal in Europe. This is Europe. Now Portugal. Starting from Portugal, he took his ship, went into the ocean, and he moved like this way. See, look here, this is ocean part, and he first reached here at the last tip of Africa, and that tip is known as Cape of Good Hope. What is the last tip of Africa known as? Cape of Good Hope. Here, this point. Then after taking some rest, he again started his journey in the ocean. He encircled the whole of Africa and reached here. Here it's Calicut in India. He reached on the westernmost border of India on the coastal part, that is Calicut. Now, once again, Vasco da Gama, a Portugal sailor, started his journey from Portugal with his ship, moving along the ocean, encircling the whole of Africa. He started from here, he came here, he reached here. This is South Africa. What is this place known as South Africa? And South Africa, the last city or the last place is the Cape of Good Hope. Here the name suggests that from here we can have a good hope. Of what hope? The hope of finding the sea route to India. So here, after resting here, he started again his journey in our Arabian Sea through Indian Ocean also, and he reached Calicut. He reached Calicut on 22nd May 1498. See the year. Today it's 2020. We are living in 2020 and we are talking about 1498, 1498. So many years before. Encircling the whole of Africa, reaching India, the first place where he set his foot was Calicut on 22nd May 1498. At that time, the ruler of Calicut was King Zamorin. Who was the ruler of Calicut? The ruler of Calicut was King Zamorin. So, after reaching Calicut, he first took the permission from King Zamorin to trade with India. What did he did? He took permission from King Zamorin to trade with India. So, Zamorin gave the Portuguese people the permission to trade with India. So, finally, these were the Portuguese people who first came to India, and here the king was King Zamorin. He gave the permission to trade with India. Now, what happened? After getting permission, these Portuguese people built a fort. Fort means a place where they used to keep their commodities. They used to keep their things here. So, they built a fort in the year 1500 CE. Almost after 2 years of reaching India, in the year 1500 CE, they built their first Portuguese fort. So, to safeguard that fort, to look after that fort, the commander-in-chief was Albuquerque. Who was the commander-in-chief of that fort? He was Albuquerque. Now, after some years, that is after 6 years, in the year 1506, after 6 years of span, in the year 1506, this person Albuquerque conquered Goa. Now, where is Goa? If we move northwards or upwards from Calicut, here somewhere it's Goa. So, he conquered Goa. He went to Goa via sea route only. This Calicut and Goa are connected via sea route because here there is Arabian Sea and down it's Indian Ocean. So, he conquered Goa, and here also he established his fort in Goa, the Portuguese fort. After that, during a period of 100 years, the Portuguese expanded his rule, and in his rule they conquered Mangalore, Cochin, Diu, Mumbai and the island of Lanka. So, within a span or within a time period of 100 years, Portuguese expanded their rule in Mangalore, Cochin, Diu and Mumbai and Lanka. Now it's time for your homework, so start writing your homework. Now for homework, all the students will make one SS fair book, and in that fair book you will write your question and the answer yourself. So I will give you 1 mark question that you will write in your fair book. You don't need to write the whole long question from the ocean in your fair book. Just I will give you this question and note down in your fair book. You have to find your answers yourself. So question number 1. Who conquered Constantinople? Number 1. Who conquered Constantinople? Number 2. Name the commodities that are in great demand, that were in great demand in the European countries. Name the commodities that were in great demand in the European countries. Next, name the land route through which merchants were coming to India. Name the land route through which merchants were coming to India. Next, why was there a need to find out a new sea route to India? Why was there a need to find out a new sea route to India? Next, to which country did Christopher Columbus belong to? To which country did Christopher Columbus belong to? What did Columbus find? Next question. What did Columbus find? Next, what are the natives of America known as? The question is, what are the natives of America known as? Next question. What are the island groups in the Caribbean Sea known as? The question is, what are the island group in the Caribbean Sea known as? Next question. To which country did Vasco da Gama belong to? The question is, to which country did Vasco da Gama belong to? Next, when did Vasco da Gama reached India? That means you have to write down the date. The question is, when did Vasco da Gama reached India? Next question, where did Vasco da Gama set his foot in India? The name of the place. You have to write down the name of the place. The question is, where did Vasco da Gama set his foot in India for the first time? Then the question is, who was the king of Calicut? The question is, who was the king of Calicut? Next question, when did the Portuguese establish a fort in Calicut? The question is, when did the Portuguese establish a fort in Calicut? Next, name the commander-in-chief of the fort of Portugal. Question is, name the commander-in-chief of the fort of Portugal. The last question, name the places which were under the control of Portuguese people. The question is, name the places which were under the control of Portuguese people. So this was all for today's session, students. Please do your homework properly. Make a separate essays fair book, single line 200 pages fair book, and in that you will write all these questions and you will find your answers by yourself. All these answers are one line answer or one word answer. So don't write in paragraph. Don't make your work very difficulty. So write it properly. That was all for today. We will meet in the next session continuing with our lesson. Thank you and bye bye.